Prupar coming at you. I just want to say before we start this video, since I am a hashtag 1K creator, thanks to you all, there's a community tab now on my channel. If you see YouTubers with 1,000 or so subscribers, they have a community tab. And what that basically means is you get to hear updates from me that aren't necessarily videos. So I actually just did a poll on whether you guys wanted a sit-down talk video that's real, or if you guys wanted a daily vlog, and it looks like Real Talk won. So thank you guys for everyone that voted. It's honestly really exciting that my channel has grown so much, and I still can't believe that I'm over 1,000 now. It just makes me so happy, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoy my content. And I would also like to say thank you to everyone who joined my live stream 6 days ago. It was a really good time. I had so much fun. There's some tea. Well, nothing too serious, but it was just a really good time. So I just want to say thank you. And without further ado, let's get into this tea. Okay, guys. Wow, I feel very vulnerable right now speaking to the camera. So as we all know, if you've seen my channel or if you watch my skits or my recovery-oriented videos, I'm in recovery for my eating disorder. The last thing I was diagnosed with was bulimia nervosa, but now I'm slowly feeling like that isn't the correct diagnosis, but that's not the point of this video. So I've had so many people reach out to me and say, Abigail, I'm so proud of you. You're such an inspiration. First of all, thank you. And I think also, as someone that is an inspiration, I think it is also my duty to tell you that I'm not perfect. I feel like too many times people that post things about recovery, it just seems like they're perfect, and it's like easy to fall in that trap of like what they're doing is 100% always online with their recovery. Okay, so wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm struggling with over-exercising and restricting. I feel sick to my stomach saying that because I know so many people look up to me, and I'm worried that people will start to believe recovery isn't possible, or they'll be disappointed in me. But ultimately, I know you guys deserve to know the truth. Yeah, I've been struggling with over-exercising. The problem with exercising is I think a lot of people in society, that's like the more glamorized behavior because it's more societally like acceptable, versus let's say like vomiting or using laxatives. Exercise for me has been very compulsive. It's hard to say that because I love exercise. If you guys know me personally, I was a 4-sport athlete in high school. I did cheer, cross country, track, softball. Sports was always a great way to release energy and just feel confident in my own body. So I feel like I'm at a point now where I've discovered I truly have a problem with my exercise. The reason I say this is because instead of just running because it's fun and I feel beautiful and, you know, my confidence has improved, but I found that I feel anxious on days where I can't exercise. I feel really scared that my body is going to turn into something hideous if I don't exercise, so I find myself exercising multiple times a day, every day. It's hard admitting that, and I also feel really guilty because I posted a photo on my Instagram with a crop top, and I honestly do feel more confident, but I think what's scary about it is I know that that body was kind of due to exercise, and I have lost some weight. My meal plan increased. The dietitian told me maybe I should lean back on the exercise. I just don't. I'm scared to let it go. I feel like I'm in this trap where I have to get my workout in. I have to burn X calories. I have to run X miles. And unfortunately, that comes with restricting my calories as well. Some days I'm not purposely restricting, but I mean, the eating disorder likes to creep in. I call him Ed. Ed likes to creep in and just tell me, like, yo, like, you're gonna feel so much better if you just skip lunch and go for a run. Unfortunately, I know that's, well, fortunately, I know that's bullshit. I don't feel that good sometimes after I run. And it's scary posting this because, I don't know, like in the past, I've relapsed or I've had slip-ups and I don't tell anyone, and then it gets to a point where I'm medically unclear and then I have to go somewhere. And I guess I just want to put it out there because, first of all, you deserve it, because I don't want you thinking I'm 100% recovered, because I'm not. So I think you guys just deserve to know, since you watch my channel, and a lot of you, like, I know you personally, and I don't think it's fair for you to just think I'm always doing 100% great, because that's just not the reality. Yeah. I don't even really know where to go with this. It feels weird saying it out loud because honestly, like, I don't know, and then I'm worried that people will look at me and go, well, you don't look like you over-exercise, or you don't have the body like that. And to be honest, if you're gonna comment something like that, I don't think you really understand, like, what eating disorders look like. I did some research. I could be wrong about the numbers, but just, you know, hear me out. But 2% of people with eating disorders are actually classified as underweight or look like that. So a lot of people, that means the majority of the people with eating disorders look like me, or look larger, or maybe a little smaller, but they look healthy. But that just goes to show you it's state, not weight. Yeah. I don't know why this video is so hard. I think it's because I'm trying to debate with myself whether or not this really is a behavior, because, I mean, here's the thing, I know it's a behavior, but I want to, like, try to think it's not. But if you want to know some fun facts about me, in 2019, I ran cross country. Cross country was so much fun for me. I had so many good memories, so many laughs. I really enjoyed it. In a way, I feel like cross country saved my life, but I feel like it also contributed to me almost ending my life. And it's hard to say that, but basically at that time, I was running, but I wasn't eating nearly enough. So a lot of times I would tell the coach, hey, I can't, like, I physically can't do this workout right now because I'm going to faint, you know. And what's kind of scary about it was, at that point, so many people complimented my body because I was losing weight, but it wasn't to the point where I was, like, underweight yet. So everyone was like, damn, nice quads, and oh, you look so good, you know. And I feel like it wasn't like anyone was trying to deliberately do anything offensive, because honestly, you know, I feel like it's just a normal thing to compliment someone. But around that time I was losing a lot of weight, but I was still in the healthy range, but probably not for my body, but that's not the point. And then a couple months later, it's time for track season, and if you guys watch my video, you know that I ran one day of track practice, and that was actually terrifying, because at that moment my chest really hurt, and I knew at that moment I couldn't go on. And, you know, it was to a point where, you know, doctors were like, how are you alive? So I guess it's scary for me to come on here and say I'm struggling, because I don't want you guys to think that, like, this is what life is like for me, or like people with eating disorders is it's like chronic and can't ever be healed. Because the last treatment center I went to, and the one I'm going to virtually, I've learned that recovery is possible, and the last place I went to before this said it was pretty much anorexia was chronic. So I think that's just a big shift, like in language, saying it's either chronic or you can recover, and there's a whole debate about it. I just don't want anyone to be disappointed in me, and I don't want anyone to fear that I'm gonna get to that place again, because I really, that scares me. It really scares me thinking about it, because if I'm being completely honest, no one in my life really knew what was happening, and then it got to a point where I became so afraid of everything, and I don't know, like, even like my boyfriend would try giving me an apple at school, and I'd just scream because it wasn't what my mind thought was a correct weight. But I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say, I know I kind of went off there, but running for me has been a godsend in the sense that I feel so powerful when I run. I feel strong. Being in sports all my life, sports means a lot to me. Being involved in sports, being involved in physical activity always makes me feel better about myself. But unfortunately, by the time I started cross country, I was in my eating disorder. So it just kind of doesn't add up to be a formula for success. And a lot of people are telling me that I've told about this. They're like, yeah, you need to take a break, you need to relax. And I'm just so scared to relax at this point. I guess I'm just kind of stuck, because I know logically that it would be okay for me to relax, but at the same time, you guys gotta understand, like, in 2019, I was in a wheelchair because the doctors at my previous treatment center told me that my bones would be sure to break or my heart would stop if I exerted myself in any way. So for a good year, a little over a year, I wasn't medically clear to exercise. And then I go to, I'm not going to say the name because I literally can't, but this new place I went to, this residential place, they were like, I was improving so fast and in ways that I never thought was possible. My heart looked so much better, and they told me that I could exercise again, and that really meant so much to me. Like, that, I never thought I'd be able to run again, and now that I'm able to run again, I'm having this fear of overdoing it. And it's really hard because it's something I genuinely enjoy. You know, like in softball, I was called Dash because I was like the fastest, or one of the fastest, you know, people sprinting wise. And, you know, running has been a huge part of my life, and now it's back in my life, and now I'm like afraid because I don't want to make it so I can't run it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like hurt myself now and then have it so I do go to the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, you're not medically clear. And I'm just scared that that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, that's where I'm at. In terms of my motivation and commitment and all those things revolving recovery, ultimately, I want recovery. I'm doing virtual PHP. I'm really trying. It's just my eating disorder is really loud, and I think also something I'm just gonna disclose if anyone's even watching this far is for some people, their eating disorder is their same voice, but it's just an eating disorder thought. For me, Ed's very real. Ed's a real voice. He is a real voice for me. And it's not one of those things where I could be like, oh, I don't know which one's my eating disorder self and which one's me. I mean, for real, it's a whole different thing. So I guess for me, it's just really hard, like, because while I was at residential, I was so confident and so excited, and I was like, yeah, recovery. I even, like, posted a picture on my Facebook with my flower crown that indicates I graduate, and I was so committed, and I was so motivated, and honestly, the day I left, my stomach dropped because Ed got really loud and was like, you're just gonna do the same shit all, like, you're just gonna restrict and lose weight, and it doesn't matter. And that voice got so loud because the thing is when you're in residential treatment, you're in a recovery-oriented zone 24/7. So I feel like it's easy for your healthy self to be louder like me and be like, hey, you know, like, recovery's worth it. Everyone here is like, you know, everyone, you know, we're talking about health at every size, and we're talking about how all food is good food, and how, you know, like, mindful movement, like exercising when your body feels like it should, and, you know, like, our bodies are strong, and you have all those messages, and then you come back home, and guys, diet culture is so real. Like, I know I, like, in my Halloween skit video, like, I kind of, like, goof around, and I'm like, diet culture, you know, feeds into the eating disorder, but it really does. I mean, I follow, like, pro-recovery things on Instagram, which I encourage everyone to, but all of a sudden, like, I get ads that are like, oh, lose weight, or exercise this, or ice cream's bad for you, but at the end of the day, ice cream, it's neither good nor bad, it's just food. And it's really hard when you're in this environment, like, treatment environment, and you learn all these things, and then you get into the real world, and everything is, like, out against us, I guess. Like, I mean, there's people that are in my life that, like, talk about, like, oh, how I could eat X because it's a lower calorie food, and how I don't have to feel guilty, but in reality, you shouldn't feel guilty over eating anything. Like, food, like, we shouldn't put a moral thing on food. Like, food is just food. And we live in this world where it's like you lose weight and you're like, I'm so proud of myself. And I think it's hard for someone with an eating disorder because then Ed's like, bro, they're happier when they lose weight. Why don't you lose weight? And I know this is a tangent now, but this is a real talk. But have you ever thought about dieting and, you know, like, whatever the word dieting sounds like, maybe you're trying to do something that's better for yourself. But then if you really think about the word dieting, what if we called it restriction of calories? Or what if we called it not eating enough? Or what if we called it eating as much as a toddler, which is like 1,200 a day, and pretending like that's okay? That's what dieting is. That's why diets don't work. Lifestyle changes do. But weight loss isn't the answer for everyone. And I guess it, like, that's another thing, is I get really sad, like, when people tell me, like, I need to lose weight, because it's like, honestly, that's just what society's telling you. I mean, like, and because the thing is like, yeah, weight loss is, like, necessary for some people, but for most people, like me, for example, I don't need to lose weight. I've never really needed to lose weight. The BMI is bullshit, too. I mean, that's a whole other thing. Like, with the BMI, like, it literally doesn't take into account, like, anything, like your race, or like your muscle mass, or your bone density. Like, I'll be honest, like, a lot of the weight I did gain was through bone density, because my bone density is, like, a lot better now, you know. And I don't know, it's like, would you tell someone that's, like, in recovery, that, like, has an overweight BMI, like, that's recovered from anorexia, that needed to gain weight, would you tell them that they were, like, fat? Or, I mean, not fat, but would you tell them that they were overweight? Because in reality, what's happening is they're just feeding their body, and that's just where it naturally is. So I don't see the problem. And I know I said the word fat, and I also just want to say the word fat isn't a bad word. I'm still working on it, because Ed likes to tell me that fat's the worst word out there, and that If you're fat, that's a problem. For me, with everyone else, I honestly don't care. I'm just being so truthful. I don't care what anyone else looks like. I think weight looks great on people, to be honest with you. Like, I'd rather prefer, like, a thick girl. That's just my preference, you know, or whatever, you know. It's just hard when you live with an eating disorder and, like, fat's a bad word for you, you know, and I'm trying to, like, reframe my brain so when someone says they're fat, I'm like, yeah, fabulous and tasty. Because there's nothing wrong with it. Like, fat isn't a bad word. Like, skinny isn't a bad word. You know, or curvy isn't a bad word. It's just literally a descriptive word, and I think we're at a point where we just need to, like, we just need to stop caring, and we need to let these words not affect us either. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna keep you guys here for any longer, because I know this is a longer video. I just wanted to tell you where I'm at. Yes, I'm struggling, but I'm still fighting. I'm not proud of myself for struggling, but I'm proud that I'm being open about it, because I feel like Brené Brown says, vulnerability is the antidote to shame. So, I think I'm going to leave you on that quote. Thank you everyone that voted. Again, thank you guys for having me be at 1,000 subscribers. It's honestly so exciting. Also, it's been a while since I've done a sit-down talk video. I've been doing, like, skits and things, and I really enjoy it. So if you guys enjoy it, definitely let me know. As always, you can follow my Instagram and Snapchat. Those will be linked in the description box below. And it really helps a lot when you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun things. It really helps me in the channel. So, okay, well, thank you everyone. Stay strong, and goodbye. Okay, if you've watched to the end, thank you so much. You're seriously so awesome. I really appreciate that you took the time to listen to everything I had to say. I realized in this video I say the word like a lot, and for that, I would like to apologize. So if that bothered anyone, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to make this unscripted and not premeditated and just what naturally came out. So I hope you appreciate it anyways. I love you guys so much.